I've been on a pause with these videos for a little bit, and I think I kind of know why. I think it's because the nice guy thing isn't really playing out very well to me. And, not to be uncharitable and not to be mean, but, if you've listened or saw any of my previous videos, it talks about being dysfunctional, about being Catholic, about why I'm not going to be an atheist, which, by the way, got the most comments and views of any other video. If you want a mean bunch of folks, go look at the comments from atheists. Gotta love those people. Anyway, so I was looking at the videos of being nice, about explaining things and talking about things and my experience and where I'm from and everything. And it's like, you know what? I don't know about you, but it's kind of a weird time in history to be alive, because there's so much stupid out there, so much absurd, so much craziness. And what kills me about that is that people look at you like you're the weird one, like you're the crazy one, like you're the stupid one. And you're like, wait a minute, I don't think so too much. I'm looking at this stuff and things are pretty weird, where black is now white and girls are now boys and boys are now girls and good guys are bad guys and bad guys are good guys, and what is, virtue is vice and what is vice is virtue. It's absolutely insane. So what I thought I'd do as I go forward is I want to talk to you. I want to see if you're part of this tribe, this part of this group. And I've looked at the audience a little bit, and I thought, you know what? There's people out there like me, and I know there's people like me because I've heard bits and pieces, and I've heard frustrations from other people, because the world is crazy. They've opened the asylums, and the crazy people are running this world, and not only running it, but they're probably like in your life everywhere, right? They're all over the place. So I made a list of a few things that I thought you might be able to relate to, maybe not. If not, hey, it was nice talking to you, or nice you hearing me or seeing me. Anyway, but let me start by just saying, you may be a person who feels like in this day and age that you're a spiritual orphan. You're, for this video, it's about being the crappy Catholic, but you might feel like if you're a Catholic, or let me take a step back. Even if you're a person who's trying to grow in virtue to be a better person, and for me specifically, a better Catholic, it's like the world doesn't want you to be a better person. They don't want you to be more virtuous. They don't want you to grow. I find that most people don't even want to change or grow. They want you to grow and change, or actually they want you to change to become the person that they want you to be. But in terms of being a spiritual orphan, I'm absolutely amazed that as a Catholic, there are people who don't even encourage you to be a better Catholic. They don't want you to, like, you're on Team Catholic, but they don't want you to be a better player on Team Catholic. And I think, if you think about it, like a Super Bowl football team, if you look in the past, like, I don't know, the first thing that comes to mind is this San Francisco 49ers, just for an example. Can you imagine if, as a player, you're out there night after night, you're staying late after practice to work on things, you get there early, you're in the weight room, you're eating better and everything. Could you imagine if someone on your team or the management or even some of your fans are like, look at that, get a load of this guy. He's trying to be super duper and he's trying to be really good at what, being on the team and everything. Where does he get off doing all this? They think you're crazy, right? Of course you're going to do that. If you're on this team, you're proud of being on the team. So of course you're going to practice more. Of course you're going to work harder. Of course you're going to work on your weaknesses so you can be stronger, be a better player, and be a better part of the team, because that team's going to the Super Bowl. But if you think about being on Team Catholic, the team that's going to get you to heaven, all eternity, right? And you're out there trying to pray more. You're trying to meditate more. You're trying to go to church more if you can. Go to Mass more often if it's possible. And, pray more and work on your vices and grow in virtue. And it's funny because it's like fellow Catholics are the ones who are like putting you down and like, who does this guy think he is? And oh, look, it's super saint and super holy. It's like, no wonder you feel like, man, what's going on here? This is crazy. It's like, I'm on the team, but people don't want me to be on the team. They don't want me to be better on the team. I don't get it. And it doesn't help that people, like even, clergy or, religious, almost seem to be like poo-pooing being Catholic. I don't know if it's, and recently Pope Francis died, God rest his soul. But some of the stuff about, any religion gets you to heaven, or all religions lead to God and all this other stuff, it's like, I'm Catholic. I want to be a really good Catholic. You're the Pope. You're the head of the church. Encourage me to be a better Catholic. Cardinals and bishops and priests were like, oh, anything's fine. You want to be a Buddhist or a Muslim or a Protestant or Jewish or whatever. It's all good. We're all together. Can you imagine being on the San Francisco 49ers? Like, if you want to, throw the ball to the other team, let them have it. You can change your uniform and go on that team. There, one team is just as good as another. What people won't put up with in professional sports, they will put up with in their eternal, glory or damnation. It's just it's driving me nuts. So if you're one of those people who's you're trying to grow, you're trying to be a better person, you're trying to know your faith, you're trying to just be a better person, this is for you. We want to grow. We want to be those people. And even if there's only a few, then that's part of your tribe. That's the people you want to hang out with. And I want to hang out with you too. So thumbs up. All right. So the other group is the dysfunctional, my favorite group. If you grew up in a family, chances are it was dysfunctional in some way, shape, or form. Whether it was a broken family, divorced family, or even just an incredible, wonderful family. If you hear yourself saying things like, oh, wow, when Dad got home from work, he was always drunk and he beat us, but it was just normal and stuff. Okay, you're in a dysfunctional family. If family members were into alcohol or drug abuse or anything like that, or if they were just, psychotic. I mean, just psychos, narcissists, the whole thing. If you were the black sheep or the lost child or scapegoat or any of these other things, it was a dysfunctional family. So I'm here to champion the dysfunctional. I'm here to say, hey, you're okay, and we're going to keep working on this, and we're going to work on the things that have kept us back. Because a lot of times when you're quote unquote dysfunctional, if you've grown up in that kind of environment, there's things that you've really got to work on just to get to ground level, just to get to level 0, right? What some people do just naturally, like, oh, they trust, like. Saint Therese of Lisieux had an incredible father that she saw the image of God in her father. He was loving and caring and kind and tender. If you didn't have that kind of father, it's hard for you to look at God and say, oh, I believe the fathers are just very wonderful, kind, and I trust them and everything like that. You probably got some trust issues going on. We'll talk about that in a minute. So chances are you've got some dysfunction going on and you're trying to work on it, or you'd like to work on it, or you'd like to overcome it, unless you like to be stuck in it. I got nothing for you if that's the case, because I know way too many people who are screwed up big time, won't acknowledge it, won't even look in the mirror, have no idea that it's them, and instead they'll blame everybody else for even though they're the ones who are screwed up. Look at your narcissists and your gaslighters, man. Those are my favorites. They'll sit there and they'll put you down one side, up, down, left, and right, and they'll never think it could be them. So embrace your dysfunction. We're going to work on dysfunction. And just know this, that however you came out to have this dysfunction, the people in that environment are more dysfunctional than you. So sorry, you're not number one, you're not a winner, but there's people around you who are more screwed up than you are. So get excited about that. The next group. You've been a self-help junkie for most of your life. You may have a very difficult time trusting other people or talking to other people or confiding in other people. So you like to do the self-help books. You like to do stuff online. You like to see all that kind of stuff because you may have some trust issues maybe. You may have trust issues with God as well. And that happens. I want to say it's okay. It's not okay. It is okay. It's something to work on, that we can learn to trust one another. We can learn to trust God. I'm not going to say that I'm the person that I'm 100% trustworthy. Like, I have a lot of faults and failings, so be careful. But I'd like to think I'm the non-guru guru. So I'm going to give it to you the best I can. And, we can walk this walk together. So here's another group, is the people who want the truth, who are tired of being lied to, who are tired of, and I kind of mix it in with this next group, that you're tired of pretending that everything is okay. You're tired of people lying to you. Well, let me break these two up. So you want the truth. You're tired of being lied to. And there was this whole name given out called fake news, right? People lying to you about what's really going on. And it's just not true. When your family tells you things that are lies that aren't true, right? We got to protect the family. We can't embarrass the family. You know, are you from one of those families? Oh, don't ever say anything to embarrass the family. We can't do that. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you know, there were some issues growing up, and there were some very unsavory things happening. Well, we don't talk about that. Just shove it down. We've got to be truthful with one another if we're going to get anywhere, right? We've got to talk about truth. What is truth? And for Catholics, capital T, truth is the most important thing. Jesus Christ gave us his Catholic Church, right? That's capital T, truth. And nowadays we've got people high up in the clergy who are trying to tell us that things change, they grow, they evolve. It's like, oh, what was true yesterday isn't true today. Okay, hogwash, garbage. You know, for your sanity, there's capital T, truth. There are things that are true. They've always been true. They always will be true. If you go outside and someone tells you the sky is, I don't know, super duper pink with some mauve in it, when you know it's blue, when your senses tell you it's blue, yeah, there's some issues there. And I've said it a few times. Folks, the mental asylums have been opened up full throttle, and these people are all over the earth. Not only leading, but they're all around you, okay? They're going to tell you lies. They're going to want you to believe things that aren't true. So you've got to know truth the best of your ability. So we're going to get into that too. So hope you're excited about that. And the one group that's, I don't know, I want to be part of is the group of people who are tired of people lying to them. And here's what I mean. I'll take the story, The Emperor's New Clothes. Hopefully you've read that story at some point. Spoiler alert, the emperor has no clothes. So these, hucksters, they basically convince this emperor, after getting all his money, that they're going to make this great suit of clothes, and he's going to wear it, and he's going to parade through town with it. And it turns out that only I forget, either the makers of the clothes and or the emperor are the only ones who can see it. But in truth, the guy is walking down the street with all the people around him, cheering him on, letting him know how beautiful his clothes are. And it takes a little kid to say, man, that dude ain't wearing no clothes. So I guess what I'm getting at is we've spent much of our days being around people who want us to pretend along with their mental illness. Is that the best way to say it? Like I said, when men say they're women, women say they're men. I don't know. All religions lead to God. I mean, on and on. And then you have to go along and say, oh, well, that must be true because everyone else says it's true. So you may think that you're the one who's crazy, that you're losing it, right? And they've done those experiments. I know the CIA did those experiments where they would sit a bunch of people in a room, and all of them are plants. They're all surrounded, they're with the one person who doesn't know what's going on, who's not in on the gig. And he holds up a picture. The guy will hold up a picture of a rectangle. And all these people will say, well, no, that's a triangle. Oh, that's a triangle. It's a triangle. To the point where the one person who doesn't know what's going on says, oh, yeah, I better say what everyone else is saying. It's a triangle. So I don't ever want to be in that group. I don't ever want to be part of that group, but you're in that group all the time. If you've ever worked for a company where people tell you that, oh, this is the next greatest project in the whole world, it's going to be fantastic, when there's no data to back it up and everything else has been a flop up to that point. I had that recently at a company where I was told, you're gonna write this thing this way, and you're gonna do this, and you're gonna copy this other guy's stuff. And I'm thinking, it's not good. It's not gonna work. I've been around doing this kind of work for 20 plus years. I wasn't bragging or anything, and of course I get called out as oh, you're negative, you're a curmudgeon, you're always so negative, and the whole thing bombed. It didn't work out, not because I'm anything great, but because I didn't go along with everyone else saying, oh my gosh, this is going to be wonderful. So it's part of you trusting yourself to say, I can kind of use my eyes, my ears, and everything else to pick out what's going on. So I really don't want to follow your stupid group. I don't want to be part of your stupid club. So that's the direction I like to head. That's the direction if you want to come along with me. If you have things you want to talk about or throw out there, put them in the comments, and we'll see where this goes. But it's time to have some fun. It's time to just say, you know what, I'm sick of this. I'm angry. I'm ticked off. The world is stupid, for goodness sakes. And like I said, the weirdest part is that people want you to go along with their stupidity and their absurdity, and they're just, it's like when those people that was a World Economic Foundation or Council, whatever, and they, oh, you're going to eat bugs and you're going to like it, while they're eating steak and they're eating filet mignon and all this wonderful food and everything. And that's partially the other thing as well. These people are living high in the hog like a bunch of communists, right? They always get the best of everything for themselves, and you get nothing. You get bugs. You get the worst of everything. And oh, by the way, don't even think about owning your own property, right? That's a whole another tangent for another day. So if you have ideas, throw them in the comments. This is direction the Crappy Catholic is going. I'm excited about it. I hope you are too, and we'll see you the next go around.